Thank you for taking the time to join us today for the announcement of the Richell Prize winner for 2021. My name is Louise Stark and I'm the CEO of Hachette Australia. Before we start, I would like to pay my respects to the past, present and future traditional custodians and owners of country throughout Australia and recognise continuation of cultural, spiritual and educational practices of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. I'm joining you today from the lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. The Richell Prize was established in partnership with the Richell family and the Emerging Writers Festival with the support from Simpson Solicitors in memory of our dear friend and colleague, Matt Richell. Hannah Richell will be talking through her memories of Matt and why the prize was established shortly, but I think it's fair to say that 7 years in, we are very pleased with the contribution the prize has made to the Australian literary landscape through the publication of so many talented writers. I think Matt would be really pleased. On the day of the announcement of the 7th winner of the Richell Prize, it's a nice time to actually look back to our previous winners and published authors. We are delighted to have published 3 of our 6 winners, Sally Abbott, Sam Coley and Ruth McIver, and look forward to the publication of Petrichor by 2020's prize winner, Aisling Smith. We have published 7 truly wonderful books, including Closing Down by Sally Abbott, The Artist Portrait by Julie Keyes, No Way, OK Fine by Brodie Lancaster, State Highway 1 by Sam Coley, which also created quite a buzz in his native New Zealand, Wild Fearless Chests by Mandy Beaumont, and we look forward to publishing Mandy's next book, The Furies, next year, Small Joys of Real Life by Ailey Richards, which was selected for the first ever Melbourne City Reads promotion this year, and I Shot the Devil by Ruth McIver, which was also published this year and created significant international excitement. We received over 850 applications or submissions for the Richell Prize this year, which is rather impressive given all we've endured over the last 18 months. The Hachette team worked incredibly closely with the Emerging Writers Festival to determine our long list, with each entry read twice before making it to the judging panel. I'd like to thank the Emerging Writers Festival for their continued enthusiasm and support for the Richell Prize, and I'm delighted to hand over to Ruby Rose Pivot-Marsh, Artistic Director and Co-CEO of the Emerging Writers Festival.
Hi everyone. How you going? My name is Ruby. Like Fiona said, I'm the Artistic Director and Co-CEO of the Emerging Writers Festival. I'm coming to you from Wurundjeri land. Over my years with the EWF, I've had the pleasure of being a reader for the Richell Prize before going on to do the admin side of things as an employee at EWF. So I'm here to chat a little bit about our involvement with the prize over the years. The Emerging Writers Festival is one of Australia's most established and well-respected literary festivals, and we exist to develop, nurture and promote Australia's new writing talent, creating platforms for connecting writing communities and their audiences. EWF has had the privilege of administering the Richell Prize with Hachette Australia. Manuscripts are judged by their first 3 chapters and are read by a cohort of readers from a wide range of disciplines who whittle down the long list of talented writers. As Fiona mentioned, this year we had over 850 entries, which is just incredible. Year on year, this prize grows and the jobs of those readers and the judges become more and more difficult, but it's a very lucky position to be in. We're so thrilled to be here today for the announcement of the winner of the Richell Prize for 2021. This prize does incredible work of unearthing literary talent. Along with the winners, long and shortlistees have gone on to shape incredible careers as authors. And we're so pleased to be part of that process and to be entrusted with the work of so many talented writers. One of those talented writers is the wonderful Mandy Beaumont, who I have the pleasure of introducing you all to this morning. So Mandy Beaumont is an award-winning writer, researcher and book reviewer. Mandy's collection of short stories, Wild Fearless Chests, was shortlisted for the Richell Prize in 2018. She teaches at Griffith University in creative writing and is also a researcher at RMIT, where she is engaging through fiction with the work of Simone de Beauvoir. Mandy's debut novel, The Furies, will be published by Hachette in 2022 And for more information, you can go to mandybeaumont.com, but for now, please welcome her to your screen.
Thank you, Ruby. My name is Mandy Beaumont. In 2018, I'd been writing for nearly 20 years. I'd been published in journals, won awards, worked my ass off creating writing events, had done my master's in creative writing, and had taught for many years. I was exhausted, but to be honest, what else was I going to do? For me, there was no question that I had to always write. It was the only thing that helped me make sense of the world. But years ago, I promised myself that it didn't matter if I won things or got shortlisted, because at the end of the day, I write for myself. So I've always entered writing competitions to help me write to a deadline and keep my craft getting better as I go along. Each time I'd send a submission out, I'd forgot about it. So when I won something, it was also a nice little surprise. But in 2018, when I was shortlisted for the Richell Prize, it was less of a surprise and more of a game changer. After so many years of working hard on my craft, winning the Richell Prize is the one thing that made my writing career feel like a real and tangible thing. For me, a few notable things happened as a result of being shortlisted. Firstly, I secured a 2-book deal with Hachette Publishing. My collection of short stories, Wild Feelers Chess, was published in 2020, and my debut novel, The Furies, will be out in February. Secondly, the relationships and connections I made from being shortlisted have been the ingredients needed to get a kickstart in what is a hard industry to crack and keep going in. But most importantly, being shortlisted for the Richell Prize gave me the energy, the confidence, and the kick up the bum to keep going. And sometimes all we need as writers is that kick up the bum and people who believe in us for us to keep going and make our best work. So I look forward to seeing the best work from all the longlisted and shortlisted writers and the winner in the years to come. Now I'll hand you back over to Louise.
Thanks, Ruby, and thank you so much, Mandy. Hearing your words is exactly why we do what we do, so it's lovely to hear that from you directly. So it's time now to look ahead to this year's prize. Congratulations to all the shortlisted writers: Odette DeForge, Kay Harrison, Simone Jordan, Jessica Kirkness, and Ben Randall. The quality of this year's shortlist is outstanding and did make the judging rather challenging. Regardless of the outcome today, I hope that being shortlisted for the Richell Prize will give each of you the confidence to continue with your writing journey. I'm delighted to hand over to Hannah Richell and our hardworking judges for their reports on the shortlisted works before Group Publishing Director Fiona Hazard announces and introduces the winner. Our judges have been amazing, carefully reading the entries and then discussing and debating the merits of each work to determine the shortlist and final winner is a serious undertaking. So a big thank you to Katie, Robbie, Jasmine, Vanessa, and of course, Hannah. Hannah has the most beautiful way with words, and I'm delighted that she's able to capture so eloquently why the Richell Prize is so important to Hachette and how important it is to invest and nurture emerging Australian writers.
My husband Matt died very suddenly in July 2014 in a surfing accident. At the time, he wasn't just my beloved husband and father to our 2 children. He was also working as CEO at Hachette Australia. And he was working with great purpose on a plan to develop the local Australian publishing program for Hachette. It was one of his real talents, his ability to spot and nurture new writers. I felt the full force of his encouragement as a writer myself, and it's his voice I still hear today, telling me to get to my desk, urging me to make time for my craft, and telling me to take it seriously. When Matt died, it wasn't just the personal loss that floored me, but also the knowledge that writers, all writers, those already discovered and those yet to be found, what they might miss under his care. So his colleagues and I got together and we decided to create a legacy that would speak to some of those qualities Matt stood for. My hope is that those who find recognition through this prize might experience some of Matt's dedication and encouragement still. My hope is that this prize, both through its funds and its mentorship, might act like that quiet voice of encouragement at a writer's shoulder. Our judges this year were myself, Robbie Egan, CEO of the Australian Booksellers Association, Katie Downey, owner of the Leaf Bookshop, Jasmine McGackie, writer and editor, and Vanessa Radnich, Head of Narrative, Nonfiction and Literary at Hachette Australia. And I want to thank them all for their time and commitment to this process. Now, each of the judges will read the comments for the shortlistees. I'm starting with Ben Randall for Snakehead. This disturbing biography is a first-hand account of the global sex trade. This is a confronting story, and the author maintained both maturity and humility in the narrative voice. He shares important information in a gripping and compelling way. Randall is clearly a man on a mission to shine a light on the horrific realities of modern-day slavery. Chilling, yet compulsive reading.
Hello everyone, Robbie Egan here from the Australian Booksellers Association. I'm here to tell you about Jessica Kirkness and her entry into the Richell Prize and Shortlist for a book called A Sense of You. It's a beautifully crafted and remarkably assured autobiography about the experience of a family living with deafness. Poetic writing, and Kirkness has a beautiful ability to convey how the language of signing is experienced bodily and visually. The hybrid format incorporates personal loss, combined with the history of deaf schools in both Australia and abroad, and research into the medicine and mechanics of audition, and the judges thought it made for an intelligent and captivating read.
Hello everyone, I'm Katie Downey from the Leaf Bookshop, and here are the judges' comments for Kay Harrison's Flip the Bird. A beautiful rendering of the joy of coming home to Australia and the sadness of an unreached potential. Rich in descriptive detail and sharply observed dialogue, Flip the Bird has both literary and commercial potential. A superb piece of writing with a narrative arc that promises a journey that is both intelligent and lyrically satisfying.
Hello, my name is Jasmine McGackie, and I was a judge for the 2021 Richell Prize. Odette for Chasing Sadie. A coming-of-age narrative and a mystery, Chasing Sadie engages with the shame and loathing of our alcohol-infused culture, the depiction of friendship and the hints of how past relationships and lives lived can impact a sense of self, but relatable and captivating. The judges saw potential for Chasing Sadie to develop into a strong, commercially viable novel.
Hello, I'm Vanessa Radnich from Hachette Australia. The judges all thought Simone Jordan's Tell Her She's Dreaming was a powerful story about growing up Arab Australian, in a narrative filled with sharp observations as well as a stinging commentary on the social milieu of her childhood and teen years. This writer has achieved a fine balance between her personal story and how that interweaves with the larger picture of family history, the music industry, and an inherently racist society.
Thank you, Hannah and judges, and good morning, everyone. And now I am absolutely delighted to announce that the winner for the 2021 Richell Prize for Emerging Writers is Simone Jordan for Tell Her She's Dreaming. Huge congratulations to Simone for winning this year's prize with her very powerful memoir about growing up Arab Australian. And now, Simone, welcome. And on behalf of the Richell family, the judging panel, the team at the Emerging Writers Festival, and everyone at Hachette, we are absolutely thrilled to announce you as this year's winner. I was going to do a clever trophy handover, but it's already in your hands. I'm so sorry that we couldn't be together in person to present the award to you this morning, but it's wonderful to join you on screen. So over to you, Simone, to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Fiona. Could I be dreaming right now, or is this moment real? I'm so incredibly honoured to accept the 2021 Richell Prize. Never could I have imagined that my story would resonate so profoundly, and I cannot thank all of the judges enough for believing in me. To the hundreds of writers who entered, to those who were longlisted, and to my shortlist crew, Ben, Jessica, Kay, and Odette, I tip my hat to you all. To Hachette Australia and the Emerging Writers Festival, my gratitude runs deep. And to Hannah Richell, I promise to make you and Matt proud. Being an author is an accomplishment I've craved for a long time, a privilege that's felt like a pipe dream until now. The Richell Prize will support me on the path to becoming a fresh and hopefully needed voice in Australian literature. Earlier this week, I watched my favorite living rapper, Jay-Z, get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. During his speech, he said it was the audacity of hip-hop that kept him focused when his career faced setbacks. This is true for so many of us, myself included. We can be counted out, overlooked, and discouraged, but we keep on keeping on. My memoir is a love letter to hip-hop, where I first discovered my passion for words. And its title, Tell Her She's Dreamin', is a dedication to all women, especially culturally diverse ones like myself, who are driven by the hunger for more. Unimaginable things happen when you throw caution to the wind. So I want to thank Hachette Australia and the Emerging Writers Festival again, and my beautiful mum and my family and friends for encouraging me to be bold and brave and submit my work for this incredible opportunity. Thank you.
Simone, thank you so much. It's so wonderful to hear what winning the Richell Prize means to you. And we really can't wait to get to know you in person and get to know you better as you take up your mentorship with publisher Vanessa Radnich. Congratulations again. Congratulations also to all the shortlisted and longlisted writers. Thank you again to everyone who bravely submitted their work to the awards this year. We know it takes time and courage to do this. And it's been quite a year for many of us. As the Richell Prize goes from strength to strength, we encourage anyone who is thinking about writing to give it a go. Thanks so much for joining us today. And thanks to Ruby Rose Pivot Marsh and the EWF team, and to Mandy Beaumont for joining in this wonderful ceremony. Let's finish by once again sending our congratulations to Simone on her wonderful win. Until next time, thanks everyone and goodbye.